Hello and welcome to Brick Tip number 54. Last week, somebody asked me to design a simple car. Now you might think that'd be a pretty easy challenge, but this was actually one of the hardest things I've done because A, I don't do simple very well, and B, I have never really sat down to think about designing a vehicle at all. I had to think a little while on what actually makes a car. And it seems like a pretty obvious question, but it's something that you really have to consider when you're trying to do something as simple as possible. And what I came up with were obviously 4 wheels, steering wheel, a seat, a cab of some sort, and I really wanted to have the opening and closing doors and also a opening trunk. So this was my little design challenge. I came out yesterday and played around a little while and came up with this simple little design. So as always, I'm going to take it apart for you so you can see how I've constructed it. So we were going to start with the roof, and like all good Lego cars, the roof pops off, and you can see that is where your minifig goes. Now we have to cheat a little bit to get our minifig inside. We have to actually take the windows out, put our minifig in, make sure his arms are raised up so they come above the bottom of the panel, and slide that window in and slide this window in, and when we put the roof on, even with his hat on, he fits in nice and snug. We call this a 4-1, not a 4-2. So we have a plate on the bottom of the panel and the plate on the top, which locks it into this stud towards the rear of the hatch. I made sure to put in a window so he can see when he's backing up. So we'll take off the front windshield, and we have this section, which is all basically one piece. It is built on the plate with the wheel wells in it. On top of that, we have just some slopes and a couple of cheese wedges, and then our rear view mirrors, and then a bracket on there, and that bracket just holds our bumper and our front grille, and these could obviously be headlights. Our very simple doors and steering wheel, and notice that the seat is actually built in to the back of the hatch. When we open the trunk, the actual trunk goes right to the back seat. So now we'll get this part taken down. So we have some curved plates here, curved bricks. And then we'll take our window. Back window is attached right to that clip, which is where our trunk is attached to. And keep breaking it further down. It was really hard to interconnect all this, but I got it as sturdy as I could. So we have just some filler plates in here to fill in the gaps. And then finally on the sides, just a 1x brick and some more filler plates. This thing was very plate intensive. And then the back here, this is our trunk area. We have the cheese slope pointing the opposite way that it usually would, and this is the trunk rest so that we can get our finger in there and open and close that trunk. Again, another modified plate with the wheel well section, which is holding our bracket for our back bumper. Underneath, we have our 4x4 plate, couple of filler plates, and then the main structure is a 2x6 plate with some filler plates in the front and back. So that was it. It was a tiny little design, It actually took me much longer. It was a much more difficult process than I initially thought. I thought it would be really easy. It would be something I could come out and do really quick, but actually this proved to be an incredible challenge for me. Mostly because I didn't want to do it in a simple fashion. I wanted it to be complex, and this is sometimes where designers can get stuck, where you're trying to think a little bit too outside the box and not just letting things be simple. So, I will show you the first vehicle that I designed, which is this racing truck. Now you might think that the shaping is a bit off, and it is. I wanted to do something quite different with this vehicle, and that is, it is built with all the studs pointing upwards. So if we look in the back, if we just pop off the back section, you can see where those studs are starting to point up. And this carries all the way through that build. Even for the axle, it's actually put in sideways. It's not put in up and down. So the whole build carries all the way through. We even have the removable roof. And we use a couple brackets on the side for our shaping pieces. And finally, I wanted to make sure that the hood could open and you can have a space for your engine in the front. I suggest, if you want to learn more about how to design cars, look at some great designers that are around who do vehicles. A couple I suggest are Martin Redford and Ian Ying. Both of them are fantastic designers in their own right. Martin looks at classic cars and he does an impeccable job, and Ian Ying does some great muscle cars and monster trucks. So I will post both their links in the comments so you can go take a look at their Flickr feeds. Thanks so much. Hopefully you found this a bit of an inspiration to go and create your own vehicles. If this video has inspired you, please hit the like and subscribe buttons and share it around so other people can enjoy it. If you wish to support us on Patreon, that would be very much appreciated. Thanks so much. Have a fantastic day. Keep dreaming in bricks. Bye-bye.